So the boys recently returned with the premiere of the first 3 episodes in Season 4, and it's safe to say that it was a joy to see it back on our screens. With it also being confirmed that this is officially the penultimate season of the show, every episode almost has more significance now because we know that the end is in sight. Within these first 3 episodes, we were introduced to a brand new soup, one that we've never seen before. This was Jessica Bradley, who's also known as Sister Sage. There was a lot of mystery about the character, but also a sense of familiarity for some of the other soups like A-Train, so I thought I'd do a bit of digging and explain all that there is to possibly know about the character. So let's get into it. Here is The Boys Season 4 Sister Sage Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Sister Sage's childhood. Like many of the soups, Sister Sage gained her powers by her parents agreeing to work with Vought, which allowed them to put Compound V in her system shortly after she was born. This is what gave her the powers and abilities that she has, which is centered around her being the smartest person on the planet. When she was younger, she was part of the teenage group of superheroes, which were managed by Vought, called Teenage Kicks. A-Train was also a part of this group when he was younger, and that's where his familiarity with her stems from. However, it was said that she was only in the group for around a year and then made the decision to leave. As well as Sister Sage and A-Train being in Teenage Kicks, the group also had Big Game, who was the leader. Shout out, who we've never actually seen but has only ever been mentioned. Hyperion, who appeared briefly in the most recent season when Ashley was looking for new soups that could join the 7. Popclaw, who we saw was previously in a relationship with A-Train but is now dead. And also Mesmer, who is also dead. Not much else is known about Sister Sage's childhood, her family, and her relationship with them. However, judging by the apartment that she lived in when Homelander first went to recruit her, there didn't appear to be any photos that were on the shelves or anything like that. There were only books, so one would assume that she's probably not that close to them anymore. Maybe she resents them for burdening her with the powers that she has. Seeing what she had to do to herself at the end of episode 3 in order to try and relax like a normal human being, it must be a painful thing holding on to all of that knowledge and then doing that to unwind. So there could be a deep-rooted sense of resentment for her family. Sister Sage's powers. Within the first few episodes of Season 4, we've actually seen Sister Sage's main power being used in ways that I didn't even think it'd be able to be used. Her main power is superhuman intelligence, which ultimately makes her the smartest person on the planet. However, with the ability of being able to know so much, she's able to put it into practical use. For example, allowing her to predict people's behaviors and movements, knowing exactly what's going on with somebody and what they're thinking due to the way that they're acting, and also being a master manipulator. Knowledge is power in this instance, quite literally. This also allows her to be able to navigate conversation in a way that other people just simply can't. For example, she speaks to Homelander in a way that nobody else has before because she can almost predict how he'll act based on what she says. So it's a power that does seem to be extremely advantageous. It's a power with a lot of offense, something that I didn't think would be the case. As well as that, 2 other powers that a lot of soups have, which is quite common after having Compound V in their system, is that of regenerative healing. Many soups have the ability to heal themselves quicker than what a standard human would do, and this is found in Sister Sage as well. Plus, she also has slightly enhanced hearing too, something which allows her to hear at higher frequencies and noises which regular humans can't. Overall, on paper, her powers aren't actually that impressive, but when put to practical use, they're actually really impressive to watch. And despite the fact that she hasn't had to throw a punch or harm somebody in a physical way herself, she essentially just gets to sit back and watch the game unfold due to the decisions that she makes. Sister Sage's weaknesses. So even though Sister Sage has a lot of strengths and her powers are impressive, she does actually have a few weaknesses that are probably quite easy to exploit. The first would be the fact that because she's able to hear higher frequencies than what humans can, the noise pitched at the right frequency would be enough to render her powerless, which would then ultimately enable somebody to attack. As well as that, she doesn't actually have enhanced durability like a lot of soups do. This means that she'd fall victim to the same kind of attacks that a regular human would. So one easy way to defeat her would be to play a high frequency sound and then try and get her, because she wouldn't have any way of defending it, unless she predicted that you were going to do it, that is. The lobotomizing. One thing that we saw Sister Sage do in episode 3 of the show was lobotomize herself. This came as a massive surprise and something that many of us didn't expect. For those that don't know, a lobotomy is a surgical treatment that involves severing connections in the brain's prefrontal cortex, which ultimately makes somebody less able to function mentally and emotionally. It wasn't delved into within the episode why Sister Sage did that to herself, as it was the last time that we saw her before the episode concluded, but I think there could be a couple of different reasons for it. The first is that because of the sheer amount of knowledge and brain power that she has to use in everyday life, in order to just do regular human things like chill out, watch a movie, and eat takeout, she has to perform the procedure on herself. Otherwise, she may not properly be able to unwind. It's almost like a different persona to the character. In this instance, she's not using her powers because, I suppose, for her, she's using her powers 24/7 around the clock, and her mind must be in overdrive. But by doing this, she's maybe just able to be Jessica Bradley. The fact that she has the power which enables her to heal quicker than most people, it probably means that it isn't as long of a lasting effect and it's only temporary. Another reason that she could have ended up doing it is because of what she saw Homelander do to Annika for no reason whatsoever. I think this one is less likely to be the case, but I've seen a couple of theories floating around on that. Sister Sage doesn't have that much experience in the soup world. She was obviously in the teenage kicks, but she wasn't in it for very long. And then, outside of that, it kind of seems like she just prefers to live her life on her own, reading and learning. So she may not have been exposed to that level of brutality and death for a while, and by doing the lobotomy, it could have been her way of just trying to forget about what she saw. However, within the moment, she didn't react that badly to it, and also she did arrange the killing of the Homelander 3, so I think she's probably pretty numb to killing. So that does make me lean more towards the first option, where she does it so that she can relax and feel normal for a little while. Her distaste towards regular humans. One thing that stood out to me about Sister Sage was the distaste that she had towards regular people. It was kind of similar to the soup supremacy movement that Homelander had, but it was more subtle and just slipped into conversation. The main time that we saw it was when she was with the Deep and she told him that he shouldn't have let Ashley speak to him in the way that she did, mainly because he was superior to her. And what she said did actually go on to have a lasting impact, as the Deep wasn't pushed around by Ashley anymore. Plus, Sister Sage also took over the role of CEO of Vought from Ashley, and she looked happy to do so. The killings that she arranged of the regular humans as well showed that there was no sympathy towards them dying, even though they were in support of Homelander and his cause. Sister Sage is a strong-minded individual, and the genetic superiority that she feels to regular humans is something that does get translated across the screen, and it's a main feature in her personality. As you can see in the 3 episodes so far, we've already learned quite a bit about the character Sister Sage. I feel she's going to be important in the development of the plot for Season 4, because realistically, she holds a lot of power. She's directing Homelander on what to do right now, and she's able to predict his behavior and movements, something nobody has ever been able to do before. So I wonder if there's going to be some kind of ulterior motive that she has. I imagine in the next few episodes we're going to see just how important of a character she is, and I'm looking forward to seeing where she's going to go. I think she's going to be more important than Firecracker for sure. So, there you have it, The Boys Season 4 Sister Sage Explained. If you want to see more videos on The Boys Season 4 or Gen V, then click on the card in the top corner. There's an entire playlist there. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel too. Are you a fan of Sister Sage? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.